It's an absolute shit show. It's an absolute shit show. And then you've got fans, football fans, who try and gaslight Arsenal fans into believing that certain managers might be unreachable. Yeah. In fact, hold on.
But it seems to have got more extreme. That he is upon the precipice of either getting a statue and being, or he should be sacked. He's right there, right on the edge. I want you to break down that dichotomy. I want you to tell me what you think of that.
The reason why I'm playing this clip is because this was from this is after we lost to Bournemouth. Because what I remember hearing in this video was nothing more than you're not gonna basically Arsenal fans. You're not gonna get the managers that you would want. That they're unreachable, pretty much.
Stop the cap.
Same guy that said we were scary not so long ago.
Gotcha, bitch.
So unless us being scary meant that the managers are scared to manage this football club, I don't know.
In a nutshell, we know that what we say, if I do this. Ironically, the people that are always very positive and happy, they believe in the same concept. About it, because it's a trending topic. At the very least, if it's something that you feel so passionately about, so deeply about, you come up with all the facts and the figures and the rationale.
The reason why I'm bringing this up is because what people need to understand, people call this guy an Arsenal fan. Yeah. They say he's a Man U fan. What does he know about? Why is he talking about Arsenal? Blah, blah, blah. He's a football fan, so he's going to talk about everybody, right? But the bottom line is he's still an op in terms of football fan-wise. He's still an op.
Yep.
He's still when you lift the covers off this guy, it's a Man United fan underneath. No Man U wants to see, no Man U fan, no true Man U fan wants to see Arsenal achieve anything. Yeah. So this is what people need to understand before they start falling for some of the shit that he comes out with. He's glad that this is happening to Arsenal because he's a Man U fan. It's understandable. But he doesn't go about it the typical Man United way. And that's what's driving the traffic in like that. That's why he's coming across as a so-called Arsenal fan, being a Man U fan.
The reasoning why he has to go, some would suggest that anybody that dedicated to a cause would put together a list.
I'm just trying to find when he was
educational purposes, as Professor Slughorn used to say that in England. This has been well documented.
Hold on, let's get.
Can't be an option as a replacement, in my personal opinion. Luis Enrique's name has been mentioned a few times. Again, top class manager. Would be an excellent man to appoint to replace Mikel Arteta, but he is not leaving PSG for Arsenal.
Now, obviously that's his opinion. That's obviously his opinion. He's not leaving PSG for Arsenal, right? Why wouldn't he? Doesn't money talk? Why wouldn't Luis Enrique leave PSG for Arsenal? Why wouldn't he? You see, this is what people need to understand. This is a very backhanded way of trying to tell Arsenal fans that you're stuck with Arteta and Arteta's the best that you lot can do. You might as well just suck it up. You know what I mean? You can say things without saying things in so many words. Yeah? And that's what this is. Now, it's his opinion, but some people throw opinions out there for a deeper meaning. Yeah. But same guy that was saying Arsenal was so scary, we must be that scary that managers are scared of managing Arsenal. They're scared of the thought of managing Arsenal. That must be what he meant. Because if we were scary as what was made out, I don't see why a top manager wouldn't come here if offered the money. I don't get it. I don't get it. If we're scary, we were scary not so long ago. Now, a top class. Let's listen to some more.
I don't think in a month of Sundays he would do that. They have so much financial power. They dominate their own domestic league, and he is building something that could become exceedingly special in the history of that football club. Again, if you want Arteta sacked this summer, fine. Zidane, followed by Luis Enrique, impossible.
Shut your bitch ass up before I get to talking shit about you.
They can't be on your list.
You shut up!
See that? Can't be on the list. AKA, guys, Arteta is the best you can do. I'm glad you're keeping him, of course, as a Man United fan. But yeah, basically, it's like somebody who's in a toxic relationship saying to you, look, this and this and this and this and this is happening, and you're trying to do your best to keep them in it by saying these little shit things. I don't think that somebody else will come and treat you better. That's just my opinion, though. This is what, and like I said, I put this in here because I want people to understand exactly what is going on in a backhanded way. It's a very backhanded way of saying certain things. A lot of people won't see it. They'll just think, well, he's out of reach. You know what I mean? Why is he out of reach? So all this dick riding for Arsenal to the point where, so we're good enough to dick ride, right? The football club's good enough to dick ride. But then when it comes to talking about certain managers coming in, it's out of reach.
Shut your bitch ass up before I get to talking shit about you.
I'll get that. This is what I mean. This is why people need to understand what people like this are doing. You know what I mean? They're just saying certain things just to drive the traffic in, but at the same time, the person's glad that this is happening, but they're not coming across that way. They're coming across as if they're on your side.
Diego Simeone's name comes up. Again, I'm a massive fan. I think he's a phenomenal manager, a brilliant coach. Would he take Arsenal forward? There is a massive possibility he could, especially with Berta at the club. Now, I still think it's impossible.
Again, it's his opinion. It's his opinion. But some people's opinions are thrown out there for a deeper meaning. And this deeper meaning being, no, it's basically like somebody's trying to tell you what you can afford when they haven't looked in your wallet. They don't know what's in your bank account, but they're telling you can't afford it. That's what this is. And then the peddling for Arsenal going forward will still continue. Because end of the day, he's an op. And he's glad that this is happening. A Man United fan saying it's impossible for Arsenal to attract certain managers, yet not so long ago we were fucking scary.
Shut your bitch ass up!
Call the Ghostbusters. You see how this works? We were so scary. Fast forward to now, these managers are unreachable. Yet, them man sacked Ten Hag and got Amorim in. They literally stole him from Sporting. So Arsenal don't have the capabilities. Arsenal don't have the facilities to steal a manager like the way they did.
Just help me to understand.
The scary Arsenal. Liverpool got slotted and won the league straight away. But these managers that's named so far, it's just out of reach.
Stop the cap.
I'm putting this in to say, don't listen to fans like this. Yeah? When they're trying to say, oh, so-and-so's out of reach, bullshit. They just want you to believe that you can't get better than Arteta. They want you to believe that Arteta is the best you will have at this football club, while peddling that we're going to have this brilliant summer in the summer, while peddling done deals that are not fucking done at all.
Shut your bitch ass up before I get to talking shit about you.
That's what this is. So I'm saying this to say, this shit right here, don't listen to that. Don't listen to non-Arsenal fans trying to say you can't get certain managers. They think it's impossible. Fuck what they think. They don't support this club. Yeah? These are the same fans crying about a manager who won them back-to-back trophies. Same fans. Same fans saying, oh, no, I want Ten Hag out because what's happening in league, mate, despite the won trophies. But then we'll try and tell you, the manager that keeps failing your club, you can't get any better than him. It's impossible to get what you want.
Just help me to understand. Ah! I'm waiting! You need to know your place, girl! Because you are an acolyte!
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I don't think Diego Simeone would leave Atletico Madrid to become the Arsenal manager. Even with Berta there.
What? So I want you to understand, we've got Berta here, who was there with him. And this guy is saying that he doesn't think that Diego Simeone would come to Arsenal despite Berta being here. Same guy that would have used that same sort of metric to justify certain signings that he wants us to believe might happen.
Gotcha, bitch.
Because I swear there was a signing that was peddled out that might be possible because so-and-so is also at this club. I swear that happened. You know what I mean? Berta at this club, you would think, well, the chances of getting Simeone, it could maybe have increased, even if it's ever so slightly. Because of that. But you see, when it comes to managers now, you see what this is. This is what we're saying. This is what we're saying. I'm not saying that the football terrorists should be out here saying get Arteta out. I'm not saying that they should be saying that. I'm like I said, I'm pointing out what they're doing. And what they're doing is they're trying to convince the global Arsenal fans that tune in hardcore to that channel, that believe the shit that they're saying. They're trying to convince them and trying to get into their head that you can't get any better than Arteta. You're stuck with him. Because that's what they want. Because they don't want Arsenal getting anywhere. Because as long as Arsenal's still doing this, it drives traffic to their man when their man want to talk about a big summer. Done deal. Summer ended to Arsenal, done. A tick. All that shit. It feeds them. You know what I mean? These men are like leeches, fam.
There is something about his relationship with Atletico, his passion and love for that football club. And I think while they want him, while the president wants him, while the fans want him, I believe they will be together forever. That's it. Like a couple of lovebirds sitting in a tree. I don't see that being broken up. So again, even with Berta, who's got a great relationship with Simeone at Arsenal, I still don't think it's plausible. So that one's out for me as well.
Yeah, it's out for you. But again, fans, Arsenal fans who maybe tune into this 24/7, everything like that, just don't let you think that we can't go anywhere. You know what I mean? Because that's the type of shit. And I don't mean to compare this. I like they're the same, but the psychological part of it has some similarities, right? This is how somebody who's abusing their partner in a relationship, this kind of way is how they keep them there. By letting them believe there's nothing else out there for you. It's impossible for somebody else to come and treat you better than what I did. I don't think that you can get another partner like me. Where are you going to go? If you leave me, where are you going? Where? Name the first place you're going to go when you leave me. That's what this is. Trying to convince the masses that it's not possible to we've got Berta here, and man's, in his opinion, it's his opinion, he said, like I said, Simeone, he won't leave Atletico Madrid to go to Arsenal. I mean, let the fact that we have a certain player at this club and we're linked with a big player who used to play with that player at this club, let that be a reality that we're somewhat interested in that player. Done deal. Green tick or grey tick. So and so to Arsenal. Oh, in fact, I've got the photo, haven't I? Hang on a minute. Done deal. So and so's linked to Arsenal. Blah de fucking blah. But what we're listening to here is the managers that we would want, especially the Enriques and the Simeones, unreachable.
Then we start to get into some of the more possible candidates. There's Xavi, available. I think he's willing to come to England based on what you read. Good manager. He's won league titles, which Mikel Arteta has not. But the Standard FC, the Arteta outers rate Xavi, not according to a lot of their Twitter posts, not according to what a lot of them.
So now what he's doing is he's using managers that he's seen Arsenal fans not rate too highly and using that as a possibility that we could possibly get that manager. You see how this works? Do you see how this works now? I want you, man, to understand this. Now, the managers that are possible that we can get now are ones that apparently we don't rate of what he's seen online. They're possible. But the ones that we want, the ones that can make a difference, would make a difference, out of reach. And that's what this video is leading the Arsenal consumers to believe. That, no, them world-class ones, unreachable. The ones that are more reachable are ones that are around about Arteta. The ones that are reachable are the ones that are around about our manager's age. Let's carry on.
And we're saying about Barcelona in the last few years, would he genuinely be seen as an upgrade? You can argue amongst yourselves when it comes to that one. I'd love to get your opinions, but Xavi is an option. But I believe there's going to be a big divide again. And if Arsenal are to do this, now again, stay with me, this is hypothetical. If
Understand, guys, he's a Man United fan. You think he's going to want Luis Enrique coming to Arsenal?
Nope.
Diego Simeone coming to Arsenal?
Oh,
No Man United fan wants that to happen. So he's doing his job.
Arsenal are to sack him, let's say we all live in that world for a moment, and a certain section of Arsenal fans get their wish, he's sacked. What you need to try and aim for, if you're running Arsenal, is almost universal agreement. So I would say 75 to 80% plus exception, this is the guy. You want to start off, because I think Arsenal operate when there's positivity at their club better than when there's frustration. Just think that's how they operate their way as a club. Would you get that 75% plus exception of Xavi? I don't think so. Areola done a double over Arsenal this year.
You see that? Now, I haven't seen I haven't seen one Arsenal fan say that, yeah, I'd get him to replace Arteta. Now, I haven't seen one Arsenal fan say, I'd get him to replace the Bronze Bomber at our club. Yeah? But you see, again, another name thrown in there because that's names that Arsenal fans haven't been throwing out there. But they're possible. You know what I mean? Again, somebody trying to tell you, you can't afford this. You can afford that, though. And they don't know what's in your wallet. They don't know what's in your bank account. But they're telling you that you want to buy is out of your reach. But this, though, this is... You can afford this, and I don't know what you're earning. Unbelievable.
But likely to become the Tottenham manager. Is he good enough? Is he better than Mikel Arteta? By the way, Arsenal are in title races. They're expected to win the league. They're expected to try and win the Champions League. Is he the right guy with no experience at that level?
No, but the ones that you mentioned that was out of reach, they are. But as a Man U fan, he's not going to want that to happen. So, you know, he's going to peddle to the global Arsenal fans that they're out of reach, thus having those global Arsenal fans peddling that same shit towards us, towards people like me. No, Simeone won't come here. You know what I mean? So just throw in the cheaper ones, basically.
More experience than Arteta when he became the manager, but still no elite level experience. So again, probably not going to get that almost universal agreement. And then I know what we're going to get. No one knew who Slot was. Well, I knew who Slot was last year. Many people spoke about Arnie Slot on the football terrace, especially in the comment section. You guys know your stuff. So I had a look at that and I thought, well, what about Francesco Ferraioli? What about him? Well, some of you might be saying, who is this good-looking swine? Well, he's currently the manager of Ajax, top of the Eredivisie. I've used
To be honest, I don't think I've seen him before.
him as an example because of the Slot one. Would Arsenal fans be accepting of this? Are Arsenal fans psyched by it? Would they feel the sacking of Arteta and the...
In all fairness, if it's a manager that's won the league title, I'd be open to a manager that's won a league title for the club that they were managing. My preference is a manager that's bare minimum been to a Champions League final. But what I want the most is a manager that has won it. You know what I mean? Because that's the only way I believe Arsenal could get to the next level. If they just get a manager in, even if he wins Arsenal the league once, a Champions League for Arsenal once in his time managing the club, if he just instills the mindset, I'll take that. But this shit that we're doing, no. You know what I mean? The way we're going on, it could be decades before anything happens significant. Because once this manager moves on, this bronze bomber that we have, we'll start the same thing over again. We'll get somebody in and they'll overstay too long. And by that point, Chelsea would have exceeded us in total trophies won. Man City would have exceeded us in total trophies won, league titles as well. Yeah.
The appointment of Francesco, but they go, yes, we're ready for next season.
Anyways, I'm done with that part. But yeah, bottom line is this manager needs replacing, and it's crucial before anything else that the transfer window is that the manager is gone. But it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen because the fans are not going to have a spine to do what's necessary, and what's necessary is boycotting the games.